Good morning. My name is Matt Raymond, and I would like to welcome you and thank you for joining us today. I also want to congratulate all of the nominees. I know you do what you do every day because it's your passion and not just a job. You do not do it for the recognition, but that is why we are here today, to recognize you and show you our appreciation. And that is why this is one of my favorite events of the year. And now, allow me to introduce the Lejeune High School Marine Corps JROTC as they will present the colors and sing the national anthem.
Ready, two, forward, march. Color guard. Halt. Order. Colors. Ready, two. Right. Face. Breathe in. Colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order. Colors. Ready, two. Right. Face. Carry. Colors. Ready, two. Forward, march.
Thank you. You may be seated. That was very nice. And now, as we recognize the nominees, I would like to introduce the Onslow County Chamber President, Laurette Leagon.
Good morning. I also want to take this time to recognize our elected officials that have decided to join us today. Of course, Senator Harry Brown, thank you for being here. Our Onslow County Commissioner Chair, Paul Buchanan, and Sheriff Ed Brown. Did I miss anyone else that slipped in after I made my list? Okay, thank you. I am going to read off the name of the nominees for the Public Safety Awards, and just want you to know, no matter what names we give at the end of the winners, in my book, every one of these nominees are winners, and I appreciate what you do. When I call your name, please stand. Leonard Alvarado. Antonio Benefield. Nice timing. Matthew. Oh, sorry. If Leonard, Antonio would please come forward, we do have a certificate of appreciation for you. Matthew Brandon. Roy Rory J. Carter. Michael Tony Frazier. Michael Groom. Joshua Lawson. Gary Manning. Jason Miller. Corey Orell. Shane Penland. Katie Fifer was not able to join us today, but we will make sure that she gets her certificates. Anthony Ramirez. Julie Robson. Robert Steffee.
Let's do one more, sorry.
Robin Wallace. Daniel Wells. And last but not least, Donnie Worrell. Congratulations to all of our nominees. At this time, I would like to introduce Senator Harry Brown, who will introduce our keynote speaker.
Thank you. It's a sure pleasure to be here today, and I want to congratulate the nominees today. You have the type of jobs I think that most people just don't appreciate and just kind of take for granted. But we're fortunate to be here in Onslow County and be protected and taken care of by each and every one of you. All of our public safety employees in Onslow County, I think, just do a heck of a job, and we just can't thank you enough for what you do. Today I have the pleasure of introducing our speaker, Michael Sprayberry. You know, Mike's been around for a while up in Raleigh, so, you know, we were talking earlier, so, you know, we got the right guy and the right job. So let me talk a little bit about Mike. Mike Sprayberry was selected as the Deputy Director of the North Carolina Division of Emergency Management in July 2005 and as the Director in February of 2013. He was the project manager for the development of the nationally recognized North Carolina Coastal Region Evacuation and Sheltering Plan and the North Carolina Licensed Care Facility Automated Disaster Plan. He is a member of the National Hurricane Center's Hurricane Forecast Improvement Project Team and serves on the Board of Directors for the National Emergency Management Association. Director Sprayberry served in the United States Marine Corps and the North Carolina Army National Guard for 25 years as a field artillery and infantry officer. He's a graduate of the Army Command and General Staff College. Mr. Sprayberry also has a BA and MA from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. He and his wife Laura reside in Raleigh and have 2 daughters, Allison and Megan. With that, Mike, welcome.
Thank you, sir. All right, thank you very much, Senator Brown. I just want to say thank you so much for your support of public safety at both the local and state level. He is a big supporter of public safety. And again, thanks to Commissioner Buchanan for being here and Sheriff Brown as well. I want to say that whenever I come back to Onslow County, it's like I'm coming back home. I get a little bit nervous, though, because of my time here. I wasn't actually living in Jacksonville, or I basically lived on base. And so I was in 10th Marines, and it's been a pretty good while, but I still have that feeling. And so I feel like it's kind of coming home for me. I also want to thank Laurette, Leagon, and Renee Baker for showing me some good Onslow County hospitality last night. They took me to dinner. I appreciate it very much, ladies. It means a lot to me when I come to places and they make me feel welcome. So let me get started. Thanks for the invitation to join you this morning. It's a pleasure to be here and an honor to be invited to speak with you. Most of all, I appreciate this opportunity to thank all of you for your service, your commitment, and your professionalism. You're the ones that put your lives on the line each and every day. Whether you're patrolling the roads and highways to keep them safe from speeders, drunk drivers, or those who are carelessly texting while driving, or whether you are freeing someone from a mangled vehicle or a burning building, or treating those injured in the incident, you willingly put yourself in harm's way to keep the rest of us safe. And for that sacrifice, a simple thank you hardly seems enough. To our telecommunicators, you're the vital link behind each of those first responders because you provide invaluable information about what they are about to face. You all are the voice of calm through stressful situations, that reassurance to residents and to first responders that everything's going to be all right. Today, we take the time to recognize each of you as well as your coworkers and family members for your sacrifices. You know, family members are a big part of what you do because they're out there sacrificing as well. We all know public safety is not and will never be a 9-to-5 job. Because the Department of Public Safety includes the Division of Emergency Management, the Highway Patrol, Alcohol Law Enforcement, National Guard, Adult Corrections, and Juvenile Justice, I'm acutely aware that those who work in public safety are always on call. There's no such thing as a downtime or a down season in our industry. Vehicle crashes, criminal activities, floods, fires, and other disasters happen on a daily basis. The residents of this county and this state depend on you all day and every day. Fortunately, Onslow County's public safety community is strong, and I say very strong. You're proactive. You look for ways to improve, prepare, and protect your residents, and it shows. So let's look at some of your recent accomplishments. Onslow County was one of the first North Carolina counties to be qualified as storm ready by the National Weather Service. No community is storm proof, but you've taken the necessary steps to plan, educate, and inform your residents so you can be ready. And what's more, you're one of the first and few to be qualified as tsunami ready. Your county has developed one of the first animal-friendly shelters. You were the only recipient a few years ago to receive a federal grant to build a new emergency operations center. The city of Jacksonville has successfully transitioned from separate police, fire, and rescue agencies to a more comprehensive and unified approach to public safety. And while I know to some of you this may not seem like that big of a deal or a big accomplishment, as one who has recently gone through a similar consolidation, I can appreciate what a tremendous accomplishment that is. My agency, for instance, is, we have about 200 people, and we're part of a department that has 26,000 employees. We're responsible for about 33,000 folks that are incarcerated and about 105,000 folks that are on parole or probation. So we understand consolidation and how tough it can be, so I appreciate what you do to that. Currently, I understand you're working to build water rescue capabilities, and that's big time as well. It's obvious to me and everybody else that you take your commitment to public safety very seriously. You've done your homework. You're ready to respond at a moment's notice. And when you're not responding, you're looking ahead for ways to improve and strengthen your public safety network. We're doing the same thing at the state level. Let me tell you a few things of what we've been doing this year. North Carolina Emergency Management Plan coordinated and implemented hurricane training for the governor, the cabinet, and council of state leaders on agency roles and responsibilities during emergencies and disasters. I can tell you that Governor McCrory takes preparedness very seriously. He takes public safety very seriously. We even held specific training for leadership teams at the Departments of Transportation and the Department of Health and Human Services, since those agencies have such critical roles in responding to and recovering from disasters. Emergency Management met with senior leaders from each of North Carolina's military bases to discuss coordinated responses during disasters, to include what is now called Camp Lejeune. I can tell you, when I was here, it was called Lejeune. I'm not sure when it happened, but there was a change that has happened, I guess, recently. But I'll call it Lejeune. That's the appropriate way. Honestly, we're working on to implement on a broader scale what you've already achieved here locally. I know that you guys work very closely with Camp Lejeune officials so that you're able to respond quickly, and that's a great partnership. We appreciate it. And I commend you for setting the example, because here in Onslow County, you basically have set the standard for cooperation between the local public authorities here in the county and the military authorities. Our division has conducted more than 200 classes this year, training over 4,000 students on everything from disaster response and recovery to handling mass fatalities, conducting damage assessments, managing debris, swiftwater rescue, helo-aquatic rescue training, and more. We held a 2-day flood exercise for the state emergency response team so that all agencies could learn and practice their responsibilities in responding to a significant disaster. Ironically, this scenario that we use for a flood incident is something that we've been responding to all summer long. In the western part of the state, they've had a pretty tough time with flooding. We currently have FEMA disaster assessment teams in the west, and we're trying to get a disaster declaration out of it, sir. While emergency management staff has spent much of the year strengthening our partnerships, preparing and training for emergencies and responding to flooding, our Department of Public Safety colleagues have been working with members of the Governor's Office and the General Assembly to secure some much-needed funding. There are 4 programs that were funded that will help improve public safety here in Onslow County and across the state. First of all is the Viper 800 megahertz radio program, which I'm thinking that most of the public safety folks know about. And basically, it's a great program. I can sit in my kitchen and manage a response in Burke County in the mountains, or I can have some people moving supplies at a big fire that we had in Hyde County a couple of years ago. It's about the size of a walkie-talkie, and so works really well. So the most noteworthy budgetary accomplishment was securing full funding for Viper. Now you have firemen, you have highway patrolmen, police, all these folks are using Viper, folks that are working EMS as well. So I can say to that, finally, and thank you very much, sir, for your support on that. This was first envisioned 20 years ago. The voice interoperable plan for emergency responders has been built incrementally over the past few years as state and federal funds have been made available. But by the beginning of this year, 80% of the towers had been built, but many were still using analog technology. As a result, the system could only accommodate 65,000 users, while 3,000 responders, law enforcement, and emergency managers continue to wait for their user IDs, and the user IDs are what make these radios work. So the General Assembly provided $25 million to upgrade the technology to a digital standard. It's called P25, and that digital technology is going to allow the other users that we need. We'll get the user IDs that we want, and it's pretty exciting, I can tell you. Now, as you're sitting there listening to me talk about Viper and P25 and stuff like that, it kind of sounds kind of messy to you probably, but I will tell you, simply put, it allows your first responders, meaning your medical folks, your law enforcement folks, all those kind of folks, fire service, to respond quickly and in a synchronized fashion. Gives them that good communications platform. So soon, emergency responders at the federal, state, and local levels will be able to talk on secure communication channels throughout the state. And I don't have to tell you how critical communications is when you are responding to any event, whether it's just a stop on the highway, going to a fire, or a big hurricane. Communications is key. So it's been one of our priorities for years, and this is truly one of our most significant accomplishments. You know, y'all have a National Guard Armory here in Onslow County. Used to be part of the 30th, well, it still is, it's part of the 30th Brigade Combat Team, and that's the team that I was a part of when I was in the National Guard once I got out of the Marine Corps. I'm quite proud of that unit, by the way. And so another accomplishment was that the General Assembly allowed funding to take care of some of the aging armories that we have out here. And I can tell you many of them are in very bad shape. There's 93 of them in the state that are in poor to failing condition. So the state provided $8.25 million to make upgrades so that the soldiers that work out of these armories that have deployed 2 and 3 times across the pond, they'll have a good place to work out of. All right. We've also got more probation and parole officers for public safety. The third major accomplishment of the 2013 legislative session was the creation of 175 new probation and parole positions so that all offenders released from prison will have post-release supervision. The legislature designated funds to create 75 new officer positions and 100 more positions next year. These additional officers will supervise more offenders and ensure the proper implementation of evidence-based practices and supervision. The final budgetary accomplishment for public safety was securing funding to rehabilitate an old youth development center in Moore County as training facility for corrections and juvenile justice officers. There are many adult correction and juvenile justice employees who are hired in sworn positions but can't begin working in their population for months due to backlogs in the overcrowded training academies. So the General Assembly allocated more than $10 million to restore and reconfigure the old youth center as a new training facility. It should be operational in 2015. So we've made some progress thanks to our General Assembly. They did an incredible amount of work. We're very proud to be associated with that, and we're also very proud to be the recipients of the good work. So again, thanks to them. As many of you likely remember, yesterday marks the 2nd anniversary of Hurricane Irene. As next week marks the beginning of National Preparedness Month, both events serve as good reminders of the importance of ensuring that each of our families and friends is prepared for emergencies. After all, we can't do our jobs well if we're worried about our loved ones at home. None of us knows what emergency or disaster is going to happen next, but we do know that it's not a matter of if, but when. We know emergencies mean long days and sometimes weeks, rescuing stranded motorists, helping injured citizens, and being away from your families. It's the public safety officials that are first and last on the scene. To those of you who are here as family members of an emergency service worker, I say thanks to you as well, because if you did not make the sacrifices that you do, your husbands, wives, parents, and siblings could not do the jobs that they do. This is a profession that requires tremendous courage, dedication, and concentration every moment you're working. And you do this every day, most of the time with little thanks or recognition for the job that you do and the sacrifices that you make. Today, we take the time to thank all of you for your dedication and service. But I also want you to know, and I want you to know, you can talk to us to tell us what you need from us as the Division of Emergency Management. I want to know how we can help you all. If there's anything in our department, and I'm not just talking about EM, I'm talking about the Department of Public Safety, and you know that I've mentioned before, that includes many different divisions. You need to let us know what those things are. You know, we work as partners up there in the department. That's what happened with consolidation. If you need something from corrections, I've got great contacts in corrections. Same way with the patrol. Matter of fact, my wife is the executive assistant for the two-star general that runs the National Guard, so I've got a connection with the National Guard, besides the fact I retired from them. But just let us know. We are in the business of working together, all of us. That's how we get things done, is coordination, interpersonal relationships. As a director, supporting our local public safety officials is my #1 priority for the North Carolina Division of Emergency Management. Let me say that again. As the director of the Division of Emergency Management, my #1 priority is supporting public safety officials at the local level. In fact, the phrase, "What have you done for your counties today?" is on the bottom of my email signature, as well as every meeting agenda that I send out to my staff. Because if you guys are successful, we're going to be successful. So we need to do everything we can to make you successful. So I mean it when I say, let us know how we can help you. Again, thank you for the job that you do every day to keep our community safe. We appreciate the tremendous work that you do and want to do whatever we can to help you in those efforts. And I close with this: God bless you, God bless Onslow County, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and welcome back to Onslow County. We appreciate you being with us. Okay. Now for the presentation of the awards. The Emergency Communication Professional of the Year Award goes to someone that has worked in the field for nearly a decade. She has acquired the technical skills and experience normally found in those with many more years in her profession. On July 27, 2012, this person was instrumental in the call center as at least 17 patients in a 2-hour time span needed to be transported to local hospitals due to heat casualties in the field. She was able to distinguish herself during this event by using her training, skills, years of experience to process and act on this massive amount of information coming in the 911 center. In addition, she was able to maintain constant situational awareness of all of Camp Lejeune and Onslow County personnel and equipment. During this time period, she also assisted with 173 other 911 calls and over 200 radio transmissions. Makes me tired just reading it. Due to her outstanding commitment to her community and her ability to exemplify the image of a public safety professional, Ms. Katie Phifer is our 2013 Emergency Communication Professional of the Year. Katie could not be with us today, but make sure when you see her to congratulate her. This year, Firefighter Professional of the Year was nominated twice by 2 different departments. Since starting as a firefighter over 16 years ago, he has continuously climbed the ladder and consistently exceeded the expectation of his duties. He continues to develop himself professionally by gaining many certifications and volunteering for educational programs. He displays his commitment to serve by mentoring new recruits who are struggling and accepts new assignments without question. As he reviews building plans and discusses old building layouts, he designs new layouts that would be safer, and more convenient for fellow firefighters and the community. He has also created training aids to stimulate situations that other firefighters may encounter for other Onslow County fire departments. In addition to his tireless effort to continue improving professionally, he has also helped maintain the operations in his family business while his father-in-law was ill. He is always willing to help in his community and enjoys educating the public about fire safety. Because of these and many other reasons, Robert Steffee is our 2013 Firefighter Professional of the Year. Congratulations. The Law Enforcement Professional of the Year award will be given to two people this year, as they were nominated as a pair for their successful partnership on a case within the last year. Thanks to these men relentlessly pursuing justice for the crimes that had been committed, they were able to arrest the suspect as well as identify additional victims and crimes committed by the same suspect. Within an 8-month time span of investigation, these men were able to charge the suspect with 23 felonies. They were able to strengthen the relationship between their respective law enforcement agencies thanks to their teamwork. Their commitment to public safety protected their communities from additional victimization by this suspect. They were nominated because their infectious enthusiasm for stopping this predator was a great reflection upon themselves and their agencies. The 2013 Law Enforcement Professionals of the Year are Joshua Lawson and Anthony Ramirez. I hope I'm never on their radar. The Emergency Medical Service Professional of the Year award goes to a paramedic that has been an outstanding asset to the community since 2006. Since coming to Onslow County, he has quickly proved his capabilities and displayed leadership to all those around him. He continuously volunteers for opportunities to train new employees and interns. He has helped fellow paramedics when they have struggled with various training by creating crash course scenarios for them. He is also very active in several communities in the community, several committees in the community in which he was selected to serve as chairman for one of those committees. For these and many other reasons, Roy Carter is our 2013 Emergency Medical Services Professional of the Year. And now the unveiling of the plaques. We have up here the emergency communications plaque, a firefighter plaque, law enforcement plaque, and the emergency medical services plaque. And now I'd like to invite Laurette back up for closing remarks.
And these will be displayed at the chamber office, so please stop by, show your appreciation. Congratulations to all of our winners and nominees, and I truly thank you for your service. Mike, pleasure to meet you. Glad you're here when it's nice weather. If I see you coming and it's bad weather, I'm going to be a little concerned, so stay. Okay, we'll call Norm. The Jacksonville-Onslow Chamber of Commerce exists because of the businesses in this community that elect to be members. And those businesses are the ones that put on events such as these. So please indulge me as I recognize the sponsors that felt that this was a worthy event for them to put their time, effort, and money into. Our corporate sponsors for this year, Onslow Memorial Hospital, Tim and Shannon Detlinger. Our executive sponsors, Matt with Sanders Ford and our local Walmart. Our associates were Home to Suites by Hilton, Modern Exterminating, National Automotive Group. And then we also have supporting sponsors, Mike's Farm and Country Store, Applebee's of Jacksonville, Texas Roadhouse of Jacksonville, and Second Wind Eco Tours of Swansboro. So if you have the opportunity to interact with these businesses, please tell them thank you for sponsoring this event. And just one other thing, I would like to let you know that on October the 4th, over at the Jacksonville Commons, the Chamber will present its Minority Enterprise Development Day. That will be from 9 until 1 o'clock. The admission is free, and this is our way of celebrating the accomplishments of the minority business owners in our community. Thank you again for joining us, and congratulations to our winners.